positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers podcast.
Yo, what it do? What it do? Positive
What up?
energy.
What up?
DDU. This RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And yeah, this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers podcast. Yo, TR, man, it's been a minute. Almost forgot what to do, but we back at it. What up, man?
Oh, listen, man, it's good to be back. You know, we've been on a little hiatus, or at least I've been on hiatus, you know, just trying to get some things straight in my personal life, work life, but we back, man. Season 2 of the Imperfect Fathers podcast, man. I'm excited to be back. I feel renewed, refreshed. See, I done shaved the beard down a little bit.
Look. You trimmed down the wolf. Okay. Got a little youth on your side. I see you.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Same ratchet, just repackaged. That's all.
Okay, it's the same old ratchetness, just repackaged, y'all. Y'all heard it here first. You already know what it is.
Repackaged, that's it.
Everybody else out there, you guys know. If you don't know and you check this out for the first time, thank you. We appreciate you. And to all our followers who definitely follow us closely, we have apologized. We've been away for a while, but we are back to give you some more dope podcasts to step to. But before we do anything, there's certain protocol we must follow around here. And that is talk to our most perfect father and then pay the bills around here. So with that being said, Father God, we thank you for another week, another opportunity.
Hold on.
Did we just get stopped in the middle of prayer?
We hold on. I'm sorry. Lord, please forgive me. So we back on the same thing, season 2, where you just gonna bogart the prayers. That's what you do.
Yo, listen, you don't never say when you want to pray, bro. Like you don't. How do I know when you in the mood to pray, Troy? I don't have a prayer meter for Troy. I don't have a thermostat.
You hold on. You make it sound like I'm some sort of heathen. Like I don't.
Yo, but Troy, when I offer you
to
turn to pray, yo, listen to all our guests and everybody checking this out right now. Go back a few episodes. You can see I've offered Troy to pray. Oh, no, not this week. I'm not ready yet. I don't have my prayer book, is what he told me. So when I assume the role that I've been assuming, just to say the prayer and get on with the programming, now I'm wrong for some reason.
My bad.
Are you ready to pray,
sorry
Troy?
To interrupt you, Lord. No, do your thing. Do your thing.
Father God, our Father, who art in heaven, help us on this earth with this man named T.R. Tribble. Dear God, we thank you for another opportunity to be interrupted by Troy. We thank you for another opportunity to be in this space, to be the men that we are, so we be a help, a light, inspiration, an encouragement to a father out there. God, we thank you for this space because we truly, truly understand. We have a great time while we're here, but we're also doing the powerful, powerful work. So right now, our prayer is that you look over every man, every father, every husband, every man under the sound of my voice, and further, look over them, touch them, and strengthen them in a certain powerful way that only you can. And these things we do pray in the matchless and the wonderful name of the Most High. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
appreciate your prayers, my brother.
No doubt, my man. I appreciate being able to pray. To be honest, I've learned that's how I stay sane. Keep it a stack. And now, listen, for the paid sponsors of this very beautiful podcast, check this out. For all your music needs, he is producing some phenomenal work. He just actually produced 2 albums in the last 12 months. So check this out. Over there at It's Now or Never Entertainment, KB is making a phenomenal movement happen. So if you have any kind of musical needs, whether it be hip hop, R&B, gospel, neo soul, you name it, he can help you produce a phenomenal track. And all you producers out there and all you content creators, if you need some music to go behind your reels, to go behind your content, hit him up and use the word Imperfect. He'll give you 50% off on any beat that he already created. Check that out. 50%, 50 on any beat he has created in the beat store. So go over there, let him know that the guys are the.
We need to be like the Democrat. We need to be like the Democrats because now he's getting a little bit of bread. We need to raise his sponsorship. That's how the Democrats do rich people. They just raise their taxes.
So
need to
we got
raise
to step our
KB's
game up.
sponsorship.
We got to step our
But
game up. He's getting to the bag now, so we got to step
yeah,
our
we
game
got
up.
definitely because he's he produced 2 albums in 12 months. I need to call him, see if I can borrow something. I need a whole something.
Yeah, you see how black folk do? Don't tell your people that y'all making no money out there, because this what happened, y'all. The black folk will come for it.
I'm letting you know, crabs in the barrel.
Yo, listen, so all your music needs, man, check them out over there. It's Now or Never ENT. Now, for all you other individuals out there that have printing needs, right? T-shirts, hats, cups, you name it. Cassie's Classic Design is the one to do it. So holla at her over on Instagram at Cassie's_classic_design. And if you don't want to get out on Instagram for whatever reason, get at her directly at Cassie's Classic Design at gmail.com. Now, TR, do your job.
Hold on. And by directly, he means strictly for business. Because if you try to get at her directly for anything else, you're gonna get lumps.
And I don't fight no more, y'all. I'm just gonna put it like that.
We're not gonna do that. In case any future sponsors might be listening.
Right. We don't fight anymore. We call the police.
We call the police.
Right. We call them to clean up. The police is really the sanitation department. We call them to clean up.
Call the police.
But check this out. TR, what we talking about?
Make sure both of his feet are inside the apartment.
Right.
The house.
In the house. Close the door behind him too, if you can.
Yo, what we talk about this week, man?
Yo, listen, man. I thought that's your job. We talking about.
It is.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all?
So
it's been going for so long. He'll know
I
his job
can't
anymore.
I can't even front like this is an original idea. So I went to a baptism yesterday, and shout out to my man Tony D2 Wow. Yo, follow him on Instagram, on Facebook. Yo, he got baptized yesterday. Hope I'm not blowing your spot up, Tony, but I don't think so, because he's definitely a man of God. He's a man of his word. He's a man of integrity. But I went to his baptism yesterday at his crib. It was really dope. And his pastor, Pastor Armando, was kind of, giving us the word of God, leading up to the baptism. And he was talking about kind of how he met his wife and how he came into Christ and all of these different things. And he said, hey, he started talking about Lexus, what their motto is. What's up, Shamar? What's going on? I got my family on tonight. Okay, I see y'all.
Yes, indeed.
But he started talking about what their motto is. And their motto is the relentless pursuit of perfection. But here on the Imperfect Fathers podcast, right? Our thing is the relentless pursuit of imperfection. And Pastor Armando said the same thing, right? Because that is what, God, there's only one perfect, right? And that's God. And he takes us as imperfect people to shape us and liken us in his way. So I thought that was just super powerful, and it stuck with me. So I had texted to you yesterday, right? The relentless pursuit of imperfection. And Doc, it just stayed with me, bro. And it has been with me all day. Because as men, especially as Black men, as husbands, as fathers, as brothers, as cousins, as nephews, as friends, best friends, enemies, right? Let's put it all the way out there, right?
Right. All the way around.
Our goal as imperfect fathers is we seek out the imperfect father. We seek out the imperfect Black man to bring him in, to what we do to help support. And we seek out the imperfect son, the imperfect daughter.
You know what? When you say that right now, Troy, it makes me want. I got to bring the business side of it into it, because the reason why the imperfect fathers exist, because obviously I'm the imperfect gentleman, but what's behind that is this: what's the meaning of an imperfect gentleman, right? The meaning of it, the meaning of the imperfect gentleman is a man that understands his imperfections is not an excuse to be the same, but it's an opportunity to be better for not just himself, but his family and his community around him. So when you were just saying that, Troy, I was like, yo, the imperfect father is just another extension of it. And literally, we are made perfect in our imperfections because of our father, right? The perfect one. So our pursuit, really, like you said, it shouldn't be the pursuit of perfection, because we will be shooting for something we'll never can reach. But what we should be shooting for is to be better in our imperfections and embrace those things. Don't run from them. Don't excuse yourself from life because you have them either. We got to embrace our imperfections and walk in them, man.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like I said, I've been away for a minute now, and it's given me just an opportunity to walk in some of the things that I've been through, some of the things that I'm currently going through, and plan, right, for some of the things that I think that I might go through, although that's probably super difficult in life. But shout out to Pastor Armando. Yo, Tony D2 Wall, if you on and you listening, bro. Yo, tell Pastor Armando, don't tell him I said it like this, but tell him I said I fucks with him. Don't tell him, Pastor.
Yo, Armando, don't tell him like that, Armando. Whatever you do.
Tony, don't tell him I said it like that, yo, but tell the Pastor I fucks with him. Like, yo, and yo, he's just a cool down. And yo, shout out to Pastor Armando. Yo, he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation yesterday. Yo, but it was really, it was really a feel good moment for me, man. And although,
That's your question though, Troy. Why was that such a feel good moment for you? Why was that moment of you hearing those words feel so good for you? What did that free you from, or what did that give you?
Yo, Doc, great question. It freed me from feeling like I always have to be this perfect person for everybody else, feeling like I always have to be what people expect.
Right.
And that could be tiring, bro.
Yo,
like
it's exhausting.
When you feel like you always have to be this hero,
right,
for other people, this savior, this guide, this leader, it can be exhausting. People call you up for a variety of different things. Right. Yeah. Like you called me up the other day. You called me up the other day. You was like, yo, son, I need $2.50. I said, for what? He was like, yo, I got to get on the bus. It's like, nigga, I ain't got $2.50 right now. Just
right.
No, he didn't do that. No, but
I'm trying to figure out what bus I get over $2.50 these days.
But no, I mean, people look to you sometimes as a leader, right? When you are a leader in the family, and sometimes as a husband, as a brother, as a friend, as a cousin, right? People sometimes, but as a Black man leading the Black family, as a Black man leading the Black community, as a Black man leading in the church, as a Black man leading at work, as a Black man leading in any place in your life, it can be heavy.
Yo, Troy,
sometimes you need that moment to say, yo, I can't do it today.
But that right there, Troy, that's the point that I'm glad you brought up. We can't allow ourselves not to show that. Like, that's a part of manhood. A part of leadership is being able to step down for a second so you can be human. Like, people don't realize Moses in the book, right? Moses wasn't leading the people all the time. He left. Where did he get the 10 Commandments from? He had to go be alone. He had to go rest. He had to go find silence. He had to go get connected with the source. See, we as men, for some reason, believe that we can't take our cape off. And we think that our family and people around us need to see us in this Superman light. But I've learned just this weekend, sometimes our families need to see us in that soft light, in that light of, oh, you know what? He's more than just this leader. He's human. Like, this week, my sister was here with me. hasn't seen me be emotional and cry in years. So this week when I hugged her and told her I missed her and I kissed her and I began to cry when it was time for her to leave, she's like, "Are you okay?" And I had to explain to her, no, your big brother's all right. I miss you. I don't want you to go. But her seeing me now in this light, being able to cry in front of her is different for her because she's never seen me that way. But the truth of the matter, it did something for her to see me in that matter. You understand what I'm saying? She embraced me harder because she actually seen me in a space of weakness. But guess what happens in that space of weakness? That's a space of strength because I have now been transparent about my feelings to the person I love. Right. So me just
and Doc, let me just say, hold on, and I don't want to cut you off. That is that was not a space of weakness, right? That's not crying is not a weak thing, right? And that's what I want Black men to understand. But that was an emotional space of intimacy between you and your little sister.
Word.
Not a weakness, right? That is a moment. Right. Yeah, so she's always known you to be like, yo, I know my brother to be going out here and going to get it, right? I know him to be a hustler. I know him to be a father. I know him to be a husband, right? I know him to be out here in these streets, doing what he used to do.
Right.
But I've never seen him in this emotional place.
And that did something for her. Like that did something for her and how she first of all views me. And now also how she's going to start viewing men. Because remember, I'm one of the pillars of what she calculates as a man to be. As her big brother. Like she looks up to her father and then like the next man her view is me. So now if she starts seeing her brother start being more in touch with it, in tune with his emotions, it won't be a foreign thing when she sees another man starts to show his emotions to her. She won't see it as a sign of, which, like we said before, Troy, weakness. When she sees a man embrace her and show some emotion, she won't count it as he's soft. She'll count it as, oh, he's a man. I've seen this before in a man in my life. And this is why we got to, as men, we got to make sure we're not just showing emotion for ourselves. We're doing it for the people around us to let them know, like, yo, we're human. See, we want to act macho. We want to be tough. But when we want somebody to care about our emotions or how we feel, they're scared to even think we have them because we're so guarded. We're so macho.
But Doc, I'm going to say we have to do it for ourselves first, right? Because it goes back to that personal intimacy. Absolutely. Right? It's something that we've talked about on this platform a lot in the past is that understand what your imperfections are as a man. Understand what your shortcomings are as a man. Like, listen, we're not even going to get into the whole God thing, right? We're not going to go there. We can save that for another date. But understand what your imperfections and your shortcomings are as a man and learn to embrace them, learn to do the work on them, but more importantly, and KB, who's not here with us tonight, he's always said this, learn to show yourself some grace.
Word.
Learn to give yourself some room and some space to be like, I'm not what everyone thinks that I am. Shit, I'm not what I thought I was.
Right. Listen, and that, Troy, that's powerful, bro. Listen, being honest about that shit is some real powerful shit, man.
Listen, I have learned in these last few weeks, I am not who I thought I was.
Troy, you hit the nail on the head, my brother. For the last 2.5 weeks, I've been finding out. As a matter of fact, I can be transparent right now and talk about it. So last week, a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks now, should I say, my wife, we had the pleasure to go to John Legend's concert. And we was front row. My wife was in heaven. She loves John Legend. I'm a super fan of him myself. But the week before, no, I wasn't crying, nigga. Was not singing John Legend's crying concert. No, I was not.
Let me find out you threw your panties on the stage, bro.
Nah, I told my wife, if I look over there, you better have your drawers on. I know that much. Yo, so but check this out. So the week before, Troy, the week before the concert, I found myself to be really uneasy, bro. Like I couldn't figure it out. I was not okay, like aggravated, annoyed, just couldn't figure out what it was. So one thing I had to learn was that we as men, we only allow the surface emotions to tell us what's wrong with us. And the truth of the matter, that's never what's wrong with us. The surface emotion was annoyance, anger, right? But that wasn't the truth. What was wrong with me was I didn't see about myself because now I'm annoyed and frustrated. I don't know why. So now I happen to find out what's going on with myself. I say, I don't have time to figure this out. Right? This is what we tell ourselves. I don't have time. So I went on throughout the week, just going about my business, handling what I had to handle. Got to the concert. We get to the concert. We're having a phenomenal time. Right? John Legend's doing his thing. Everything was amazing. The seats, the opening act, everything. Everything is phenomenal. And I found myself at this concert heavy still. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm heavy, Troy. After the concert was over, we leave. We have a good time. We go home. And I'm still asking God, like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? And simply, I felt like God telling me, you're not ready to hear this. And I was like, oh. The truth of the matter, Troy, after doing some real soul searching, is I'm not as confident as I thought I was. How do I know that? Because the truth of the matter, why I was so uneasy is because I wasn't ready to see my wife scream another man's name. You laughing, but that's exactly, it's the truth, man. Like I wasn't ready, of no level. Like I just wasn't ready. Like that,
and she wasn't even cheating on you, bro.
But that's what I'm trying to say, Troy. We think that we somewhere where we not until we be tested in that area. See, we can say we confident. We can say that we feel like we know where we are in life. But the truth of the matter is, every time you open your mouth about who you are, you're going to be tested in that way. So as much as I walk around talking about I'm confident as a man, I'm confident as a father, I'm confident as a husband, I got to be tested in these things. And I came to find out that there's some work that needs to be done.
Yo, but Doc, it's so funny because, and I'm laughing on a bunch of different levels, right? Because
I already know which one you're laughing at the most. Like, I know your brain, how it works.
Because, listen, first of all, I've had the pleasure of spending some time with Cassie, right? So I know she loves you unconditionally, right? Nice. So another man is not even a thought in her mind, right? But for you, and listen, here's the thing though, right? And sometimes we got to get real with ourselves, because jealousy, and I'm not gonna say you were a jealous person because you're not, but just the thought in your mind that your wife is getting excited about going to a concert and hearing a man sing who is not even paying attention to her, right?
Right.
She's not even on his radar. But the fact that it was making you feel a way, and you're like, yo, and listen, and just for anybody who might be tuning in, so everybody understands, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and I are first cousins, right? His mother and my father are brother and sister. So we have a very intimate connection, right? So growing up, right, although I how old are you?
37.
37. So I'm 46. So I got you by 9 years. But yo, growing up, even as a young kid, like, yo, your level of just, yo, who you were was so strong, right? Your level of commitment to who you were has always been so strong, bro.
Yeah.
Like your confidence, even as a little kid, throughout your toddler years, your preteen, adolescent, right, young adult, I was like, yo, I wish I could have moved like you when I was that age. But to hear you say now, like at 36, 37, like, yo, I'm not really I was going to this concert with my wife and I was in my feelings
Bro,
because my wife's panties was gonna be slippery.
Right. And the crazy part is like, yo,
For John Legend.
I'm just I couldn't figure out what it was, Troy. And I did like, and at that time I was really, really like just saying whatever. I'll get
Shout
over
out to all the light-skinned niggas around the world looking like John Legend.
Yeah, stay away, right? No, but for real, see, like, and I had to really come to grips with this because, like, yo, here I am in the streets. I'm a character and confidence development coach. This is what I'm doing. I'm not just saying this. So I had to really express this and show this to my clients. Like, yo, we have to continue to be better. Like, no matter who you are or what level you're at.
Yeah.
Because here I am. I'm yeah, like you said, Troy, I've always been a confident individual. That's been a God-given gift. Right? But the truth is, even in that God-given gift, there has to be work done. Like, I have a God-given gift to play the drums, but there's still some things I have to learn. There's still some parts of the game that I got to figure out. The gift itself doesn't come with all the answers. The gift itself just comes as the gift as it is. So, like myself now, like I'm really learning. And shout out to Mr. Jason Wilson. He wrote the book Battle Cry. I have been in this book literally now 2 weeks, and this is why I've been changing my life, my mindset. This book, Battle Cry, is a book about us men waging a war against the mental battles that we face every single day. This book expresses that how we shouldn't be just operating in this masculine effort to be a man. Our goal should not be to be a masculine man or an alpha. Our goal should be being a comprehensive man of the Most High. That should be every man's goal. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're a comprehensive man, you understand when you're supposed to be walking in your masculine. You understand when you're supposed to show empathy. You understand timing. You understand situations. And you understand yourself and people. See, we just get so caught up in trying to be these alphas and these masculine beings. But let me tell y'all something. I've learned just in this last 2 weeks that it's a bunch of BS, y'all. This whole masculine thing that we got walking around here, it's okay for where it belongs. It belongs in competitive nature, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to express that too. As much as I'm sitting here talking about us embracing our feelings, I don't want no man to feel like him being a lion or him being a beast is something wrong. I want to be very clear. Us men, we do not have to cower and tame our lions and put them away to where we're just walking around here with our tails between our legs. No. There's a time and place for every part of who you are as a man. There's a time and place for every part of you as a man. There's going to be a time when it's going to be time for you to be masculine and be dominant. And there's also going to be a time for you to be empathetic.
Let's back up for a second. What's the name of the book?
Battle Cry.
By who?
Jason Wilson.
Okay. So Battle Cry by Jason Wilson. I haven't read the book, right? But I'm definitely going to check it out. So you talked about a couple of things, right? And I think it just kind of fits well into kind of what we're talking about, right? That relentless pursuit, battle cry. Oh, so you're not really reading the book; you just kind of listening to it.
No, I got the copy. I got the copy and the audiobook. I'm serious in this book.
I'm just checking.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm in this book too. Like this book right here. When I tell you it is, I'm gonna send you a copy of it. That's how fire it is, bro.
Okay, do that.
Word.
So in that relentless pursuit of imperfection, right? You talked about, we don't always have to live in this quote unquote masculinity, right? Or it doesn't always kind of have to be at the forefront.
Right.
I would, for argument's sake, say I disagree.
Okay.
Because if who I am as a man is exactly who I am as a human, a human.
Right.
Right. And the prefix of that word, although it's not spelled the same way, hue, right? I am a black man. The hue, the color of my skin is black. My masculinity is defined sometimes, right? At least we see it on TV and in music. My masculinity is defined by who I am and how many women I conquer, my
No,
job.
but
Hold
that's
on,
but
let me
but
finish,
hold on,
bro.
but no, but hold on. Before you finish, I gotta stop you at that point because you just saying it's defined by a television. It's defined by by what? By the television and the
Well, hold on,
society
let
at
me let
hand.
me finish. Let me finish. But it's
Okay.
also defined as by the other men who have raised us, the other
Mhm.
men who have brought us up and taught us what our masculinity is about. So now you're telling me that that's wrong.
Yes, I am. What you was taught, Troy, is definitely wrong. And what we have to understand, Troy, is that what we was taught from trauma. We wasn't taught from a place of understanding. We wasn't taught from a place of a comprehensive man of understanding who they were and what they were teaching us to move ahead in. See, our parents didn't know what they didn't know. We're learning now in an age of information that wasn't present for our family. So now, and let me tell you, this book right here has showed me the thing where toxic masculinity comes from is when a man is only operating in his masculinity. Let's think about this for a second. When you have a water filter, Troy, right? You know how a water filter works. You take water and you put water through it and it purifies the water, right?
Mhm.
If you take
Right.
a consistent flow of water, right, and you keep flooding it through that system, right, what's going to happen
Mhm.
over time? That no
Well, I
matter
mean,
what,
eventually it's going to overflow. It's going to overflow. It's going to wear out.
it's going to wear out, and then what? The water going through is going to be what?
Toxic.
My point exactly, Troy. When we're consistently putting all of our efforts, all of our energy as a human being, not even just a man yet, when we're consistently putting all of our efforts as a human being through one port, one channel of what we are as an individual, of course, over time is going to be toxic. Over
So
time,
I,
it
I'm,
has to. It has to be.
okay. So I think this word toxic is currently being overused.
No, but I use it
Eh,
purposely for a reason right now, though. Like not
I
not
know
to
you
be a
did.
trigger word, but just to show the point of the masculinity point to you.
Yeah, I get it. But I still think that this toxic, right? People talk about toxic relationships, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. I think the word toxic is being overused,
I can definitely agree with you on that one without a shadow of a
right?
doubt right now. It's a trigger word. It's a hot word right now. It's a trending
Yeah,
word.
it is.
But
So
the only
to
reason,
me,
like I said, the reason I use it to you just now is I want you to see what you said was we were talking about originally the masculinity point about it being in the forefront. And the
no, I get
reason
it.
I'm
But you
saying, hmm?
get
No, and the reason I was saying I brought to that point is because of the point is like, yes, us walking our masculinity is what we're supposed to be doing, but it's not something we're supposed to always lead with. It's not necessary to always walk in this masculine era. Like your daughter doesn't need you to be masculine all the time. Your wife doesn't need you to be masculine all the time. There's going to be times where she needs you to what? To lay a shoulder on. She's going to
yeah,
need you
but
to see about her.
okay. So fellas,
What you got, man? What you got over there? What you itching to
all
say,
right.
man?
Okay. I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of how to frame this, right? I was trying to think of the best way to frame it. And I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm saying I disagree with you.
Okay.
My daughter always needs to see me as a man. However, she gets to see me cry. She gets to see me in not my best state, but she's always going to see my masculinity. And perhaps I feel differently about this whole subject because I was raised by women, right? So my masculinity has always growing up, it was always in question because I was raised by women.
Right.
Which gave me a whole different view and perception of what being a man was like toward women, what being a man was like in this world, right? Because the men who lived in my house weren't present.
Right.
So I had to look here and in different places on the boulevard, right? And be like, okay, that's what being a man looks like. That's what, being a man looks like. But through my own journey, I had to say, this is what being a man looks like. And it was not perfect, right? Hence why we call this the Imperfect Fathers podcast, right?
Facts.
I recognize that looking back, it wasn't perfect, but my daughter always needs to see my masculinity.
All right. So so let's dig into that for a second. So your masculinity consists of what? What does your masculinity consist of? Because this is what digs into the book.
Yep, I'm glad you asked that question. It is not what defines me as a man. It is what defines me as a person. Because I'm always a man, right? I don't care if you take the queerest of niggas out here. They're still men.
Facts. At the end of the day,
right? You still got testicles and you still got testosterone.
Facts.
You are a man. My definition of a man for each one of those men is completely different. Because I'm a man's man.
But see, that's why I beg to differ with you too. Because we can sit here, and I know I'm gonna get some slack from every committee in the world, but the truth of the matter is there are men in this world and there are women in this world. There's nothing else.
That's fair. Right?
Now,
I mean, DNA, you
can't lie. You can't,
or it's Y.
Right. The chromosomes, you cannot change them. I don't care what you try. So with that being said, it's like, yes, a man's going to be a man and a woman's going to be a woman. But what makes up a man, right? What makes up your masculinity is a whole bunch of things, bro. We are individuals that don't have sex-based emotions. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say that, I mean we as men have every emotion that women feel. Emotions are not sex.
Wait, pause. Who don't got sex-based emotions?
Emotions are not sex-based.
You a liar.
We all have the same. Listen, Troy, you have the same emotions your wife has. No, I don't want to hear it. You're sitting here. You can sit here in front if you want to, but you have pain the same way. You have feelings the same way. You have all the emotions that your wife has. Now, do you operate in them? Not all the time.
But if
or not as strongly either as sometimes women do. But at the same time, we as men have every emotion.
You are correct. Because I was going to be funny, but I decided not. I decided to leave the funniness out of this. It wasn't appropriate. I decided to leave it out.
I'm proud of you. That's a good moment right there. He has some goof on this one, y'all. That's a first for this show, guys.
I decided not to go down that path. No, I can dig it, Doc. But I guess I look at it from the perspective of, because there's a difference between, because you can still be vulnerable. So what you're talking about is vulnerability.
Troy, I think that you're in emotional incarceration. That's what this book speaks about. Wait till you read this book. You're still in emotional incarceration right now. Because
no, I'm not.
Yo,
I'm actually
you might be freed and just having this for the argument conversation, which I know you are doing this normally for argument's sake of the conversation. But what I want to point out is what's so important about our addressing and understanding our emotions are not sex based is that we as men have to sometimes say, yo, listen, I'm sad. Yo, I'm not happy right now. I'm emotionally not right. Like, I think that instead of us doing that, we allow the first emotion that we feel and we use anger or frustration to hide it and deal with the anger or frustration by picking up vices. And I'm not just talking to all men. I'm talking to myself on this one. There's a lot of emotions that I ran from. I smoke weed because of, Troy. There's a lot of emotions I ran from, and I drink alcohol because of. I didn't want to deal with them. Because you know what? I felt less of a man by dealing with them. I'm gonna keep it a stack on this platform. Dealing with the emotions of feeling neglected and not feeling abandoned, I felt less of a man dealing with those, man. So, and when I felt those emotions, I picked up a blunt. When I felt those emotions, I picked up alcohol.
But that makes you a human, right? That makes you that makes you your genetic makeup as a person, right? Because when we look at situations like that, that's how when we look at people who have suffered emotional trauma, when we look at people who have suffered physical trauma, when we look at people who we look at our veterans, we look at our firefighters, our detectives, our police, our mothers, our fathers, anyone who has suffered any level of distress may sometimes turn to a vice, whether it be drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex. There's a variety of different things to cope and deal with that, right? So there's a coping mechanism. I don't think it has to do with who you are as a man. And I could be wrong. I'm gonna read the book, right? I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think however, as men, our brain is trained a different way as men, because I am not an emotionally decision-based person, whereas I think women are emotionally decision-based. I am a fact-based decision maker.
Well, and at the same time, that's under certain circumstances. So that's relative, because the truth of the matter, if you was under duress, you make a decision based on your emotion.
No.
You make a decision. Yo, if so right now, if there's a pit bull running behind you right now, what are you gonna do?
Doc, I am not an emotional decision maker.
So
right?
Troy, if your emotions kick in right now, the fear of emotion kicks in, the fear, the emotion fear kicks in. You're not gonna take off running.
My logic kicks in first, because my logic kicks in that says that I probably can't outrun this pit bull. I'm fat. I got a new hit.
Troy, so your first thought process is not going to be to clear space between you and this animal. So your fight or flight doesn't work.
No, it works perfectly, bro.
My point exactly.
But I recognize when my fight or flight is, do I stand a better chance? And again, I'm you asking me a question, right? So somebody else might be different. My fight in this says, if I handle this situation a certain way, if I run and this pit bull attacks me from the back, I'm probably going to be in a worse situation versus, okay, can I attack the situation head on? Knife, gun, because I got one or two on me, right? Or am I just going to use the fact of my simple strength that I know that this pit bull is going to jump? His first reaction is to jump toward my neck or my arm, right? But that's just me, right? And I've been in a variety of different situations that allows me to think a little bit differently than somebody else who's never been in that situation.
What I'm saying is, all that's good and well, but what I'm saying to you is this: all that's happening, you're still going to base your feeling, what you're going to do, off the emotion that you feel in that moment.
Doc, I'm talking shit. I don't really like big dogs, so I'm gonna run. Like anybody who
I-
knows me knows I don't really
You gonna take the fuck off. So so and that's
I
what I'm
was
saying though.
I was trying to
What
be masculine for all the women out there who
right.
listen.
And and Troy, I'm glad you did that because that's just some real shit. Like you saying it jokingly, but it's really what men are
Yeah,
going
no,
through.
I'm running.
Like men are really going through this, and it's. I'm glad you, Troy, that you making and you brought it to the attention and you bring it to the table in the way you do because only you have the ability to do it this way. But it's so true because there are so many men out here that are really trying to be what they're not, just for an approval because they haven't approved themselves. Let me tell y'all something. The reason that I was so uneasy about my wife going to this concert is because I really didn't deal with the emotions that I had about myself, the insecurities I had with myself. Like Troy said earlier, my wife sees and worships the ground that I walk on, and I know this. She tells me this. She's shown me this. She has not given me any reason to feel any other way. But because I didn't deal with what I was really dealing with under the surface, like Troy was saying, like dealing with the things we don't want to deal with, calling a spade in our own lives. Like, yo, when you're down, when you're insecure, like, hey, listen, I need help. I'm not okay in this area. Or I don't, I need some guidance in this space. It's okay to be there.
Yeah.
But we
And let
as
me
men,
just
we
say
gotta
this.
start being okay with being transparent when we need to be transparent the most.
Yeah. And I just want to say this to all the other black men out there. Yo, we have to be comfortable as black men allowing other black men to come to us and be vulnerable.
Word.
And
Wow.
not we have to take that no homo shit out of our vocabulary,
Yeah.
right? Because at
Word.
the end of the day,
Hold on. You just mute yourself for some reason, Troy.
that
There we go.
my bad. There's we have to allow allow ourselves to take that no homo out of our vocabulary.
Right.
There is nothing homosexual about coming to another black man or another man in general and saying, yo, I've got a struggle. I've got something that's breaking me down and I need to confide in you. I need to talk to you. I need to be emotional right now.
And to be honest, Troy, we gotta stop even putting that on homosexual behavior. Like how did that even become how do we deem that to be first of all homosexual? Number one, it has nothing to do with sexuality to begin with, right? And this is why we gotta stop shaming our brothers. We gotta stop shaming each other. We can't be at war in the streets. We can't be at war with our counterparts. War everywhere, and then we're looking for some kind of peace or a space of serenity with our brotherhood, and we can't even find it there. Then we wonder why
Doc,
we smoke around so violent.
Send Dave the link. He just texted.
Okay.
Yeah. But here's the thing. It goes back to, again, that's that imperfection, that relentless pursuit of imperfection.
Right.
Because we learned from the imperfect men who learned from the imperfect men who learned from the imperfect men that
right.
we cannot show weakness, right?
Facts.
We've learned that if we show weakness in front of another man, that other man is somehow going to take over our homes, take over our jobs, take over our money, take over our women. Right? But the reality is we're not presenting ourselves to our enemies. We should be presenting ourselves and our hurt and our pain and our imperfections to other men who we trust.
Right. Yo, and you know what's so important about that, Troy? In order to trust somebody, you got to be vulnerable. And a lot of men have been hurt. We've been hurt by number one, other men. We've been hurt by women in our lives, some of our mothers, our fathers. So one thing we have to do before we even can begin to trust somebody is to learn to trust ourselves. and give ourselves the grace and space to understand that us being hurt the first time wasn't our fault. See, this is what they didn't tell us. Like when you get older and something happens to you, someone does something to you, the first thing you think that is your fault. The first thing you're like, oh, what did I do to deserve this? But the truth of the matter is, to every young man out there that's been hurt by a friend, a family, a loved one, it wasn't your fault. It's not your fault. And what you need to do now is to learn to trust yourself again. Because the moment you start being able to trust yourself, allow yourself to create relationships and meaningful ones that are based upon trust. And that's how you begin to create these safe spaces for yourself to say, you know what, I'm not okay today. I need some help. I need to talk to someone today. Like I'm having an emotion I don't know how to deal with. What is this about? Why do I feel this way? These are conversations we should be able to have with our brothers. These are conversations we should be able to have with the people we call brothers, cousins, friends, loved ones. These are conversations that we should be having, not just the hee hee ha ha, the joke, how you doing, what's good, the latest gossip, and all this other nonsense. We should be really talking to each other about the things that's going on with each other. Like, it's
but
crazy, Troy.
How do we change that dynamic though? Because I know we've got this platform and we do it, right? And you and I have had many intimate conversations, right?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm on the road driving and just talking about a variety of different things. But how do we change that? How do we work to change that dynamic between Black men? Right? Because I don't, listen. I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. And sometimes y'all hear me say, Black man, and then I'll switch to saying men because I don't want anybody to feel left out. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way gangsta and all the way a stack. This platform is about Black men.
Facts.
This platform is about Black fathers. I'm not excluding the women or anything like that because our sisters matter to us, but we built this platform for the imperfect Black men out here.
Correct.
So how do we create that change to get Black men in our communities and our families and our circles and our churches and our workplaces, people that we carpool with, that we talk to on the phone every day? How do we create that change?
I can tell you, simple. We got to start showing our lights brighter, Troy. We gotta show the world how cool we really are. See, because the world only gets behind cool things, trends, fads. That's when people start catching on. See, the truth of the matter is that no homo thing you said earlier was a trend. It started because somebody liked the way it sounded. No homo. You said some wild shit. No homo. And it became what? Cool to say. So now we gotta be the exception now. This has to be the norm. Yo, creating spaces for your brother to come and be himself, that's dope. Creating a safe space for your homie to come say, you know what? Mentally, I'm in a bad space. My mom's been beating on me for the last 18 years. My dad's been pounding on my sister for the last 16 years. See, if we don't have space to talk about these things, we're just as bad as the offender. Think about that, Troy. If you don't create a space for the person that calls you a brother, that calls you a cousin, that calls you a man in their life, that you don't create a space for them to even come say, you know what, I'm hurting, you're just as bad as the person doing it to them. And we got to start making that the thing, man. Because the truth of the matter is, we all here for each other. All this bullshit about the social media, technology, all these things are great in their space. But the actual reason for us to being here is to make sure the person next to us is okay.
Yo,
is
Dave in the waiting room? Did he join?
Nah, nobody joined. I sent that to him and KB.
Yo, Doc, that's just so powerful of a message, bro. Like, just showing a level of love, a level of intimacy, a level of vulnerability is a game changer, because sometimes people can't come to you because they're like, yo, I want to be vulnerable, but I don't know how it's going to be received.
Right.
So when people can see that they can trust being vulnerable with you, yo, you can be a game changer in their world, bro.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You can be a life changer, and I gotta speak on one of my partners. Yo, shout out to my brother Mark Rosefort, because I go to this cat a lot with a lot of different things, and he travels, and I'm like, yo, he might be in this country one month, another country next month, but yo, the one thing I've learned with this dude and to be comfortable with is sometimes during our conversation, we might not speak for a couple of weeks, just to be like, yo, I love you, bro. And he'd be like, yo, I love you too.
Word.
And
like,
I'm
Troy,
gonna
when you said that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but what he did was he didn't sugarcoat it. He said the entire word. I love
he said, I
you.
love you too. Yeah.
But see,
But I'm
check
gonna
this
take
out.
Hold on,
Well,
Doc, before you
go
go
on.
there. Go ahead.
Okay.
You first.
No, because I just want to point out one thing. We do as men, we'll hyphenate it to make it sound cool. I love you, or I got you. You right. All these other things, rather than it truly expressing the fact that I love you, bro. I actually really love
I
you.
love you. Yeah.
The KB's he pulled up.
Yo, Kings,
KB,
King, what
sock
it do?
passe.
not boule.
Yeah. My
Passe
guy.
PT.
I don't know what you just said, nigga, but we up in the building speaking English,
You
nigga.
feel me? Man, it's good to be back with y'all boys, man.
Yo, man,
Yo.
we sit here chopping it up. Welcome back, K. We over here
Yo,
talking
it's
about
good to
this.
see you with your white clef mustache.
Bro, is it like that? Like, yo, son, I need to get back inside that. Everything crazy, like this side sticking out more than that side. It's one of them, like, you
Yo,
understand
KB, that's that in the studio work. That's that in the studio. I don't come out for days work.
me? You see it back there, like it's been pretty good. Like I'm enjoying where I'm at. I'm happy with everything, how it's going. But I'm definitely glad to be back in the building with the Kings. You understand me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, shout out to
absolutely.
KB. Yo, shout out to KB producing album, fucking bitches. All kinds of
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud? My bad.
Yo, hold on. Just for old time's sake, man. God damn. God damn. Gotta get him out of here, man. Shit. Come on, man. Talk with this crazy shit. Yo, but we sit here, KB. We only got a few minutes left, man. So we always happy that you pulled up on the platform. But right before we get up out of here, KB, we want to ask you really quick. As a man right now, do you think that your job is to fully operate in your masculinity all the time?
I think that's poison.
And he wasn't even on the platform. I just want that his word was poison, right? Now I used toxic earlier, but that word is the same. It's synonymous. So Troy, listen to this man. What did you say? Say KB, say one more time.
No, I think it's poison. But we have to. What's really masculinity? Like, what's the true definition of it?
Yes, and that's what he was getting down to the bottom of.
Is it really the way we think that we have to be all this whole macho and you know what I'm saying? Is that really masculinity? Is that what it's about? Is it going out and really being the breadwinner and then coming in and just going to sleep and then waking up and going right back out, having zero relationship with your kids, but you're a provider, but there is no real relationship with your child. And
what is the definition of masculinity? Yeah, that's gonna be an episode for next week, y'all. I think that's the topic of next week. What is masculinity? What is that?
But and to be honest, I think we all are too nuanced to be held in that one box.
Yes.
So my answer is absolutely not. And if you are, you in trouble. You need to seek help fast.
Yo, and we're gonna wrap this one up, KB. But you came through just now and really put a knot on a nice little bow on this one, because and you also gave us a great segue to next week's episode. Because we were sitting here talking about the pursuit of imperfection, right? Us just
Mm.
trying to just be the best we can, no matter by all means. And we also just talking about we talked about a vast array of things, but a lot of it was based upon our masculinity and operating in it. And I think that it was so important that you used the word poison, because early in the conversation we used the word toxic, and the way I expressed it was by a water filter. Pumping a consistent flow of water through a filter. I don't care if it's the best filter in the world. Over time, that filter is going to become dirty and it's going
It
to
needs to
become
be
filthy,
replaced.
and it's going to need to be replaced. But if you don't replace it, the water that streams through that filter will become poisonous, toxic, because at that point you're just flowing through one avenue, right? There's no other way for that water to stream out or be clear. But once you have different avenues for that water to flow, and it's flowing through different streams, it gives that water what a better opportunity to flow and be clean on multiple levels. That's the same thing with our masculinity.
So what I
Yo,
heard
Troy,
you
what you
say is
got?
I need to I need that. What I heard you say is I need to use reverse osmosis on my masculinity.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna reverse osmosis his black ass
Yeah,
off
get
this
some out of
platform.
here.
Yo, so check this out, fellas and family. Yo, we kicking this is season 2 of the Imperfect Fathers podcast, man. We've been away for a minute.
You've been
And guess
away.
what? We've been away
Man,
for a
I
minute. We
missed it.
missed y'all, and we missed being here. We missed the platform. So we back, y'all. Season
Hey Troy,
2
how
is
many
in
cups is
full
that?
effect. Now that's only
How,
one. He only one cup in, but we don't know how many we had before the show. So
so
only
actually,
one on the
I
show.
had one before the show, two drinks during the show.
Oh shoot! So
Oh yeah, he
he
nice.
put a fast one on me. I didn't even see the second one come into the
He
light.
nice.
Yeah. He's slick with it. Yo, fellas, get up here by your last words before we get up out of here, y'all.
Seek help, and I'm taking a page right out of Troy playbook. Seek help, man. Like you don't have to do it by yourself, and it's okay if you don't. It's that old age saying or whatever, however it goes. It'd be like if you want to go far, or if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with others. Um, the goal is far, bro. That fast stuff is for the birds, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you set your goals and set your goals for 10 years, 15 years, 30 years down the line. Um, and that being said, that's going with people, partnership. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do it by yourself. You really don't. And this is coming from someone who loved past tense to do it by themselves, to be able to say, I did it on my own. Like, man,
Right.
that's shit bullshit.
Right.
So
Yeah.
seek help, ask for help, and it's okay to. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as that you go into someone that you know it's a safe space for you to go to, and that person that you go to is not gonna be painting your name red across the town. You have that person in your life, and if you don't, contact my dog RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. He'll get you right in his coaching class, get you right,
That's
and
a
it's a
fact.
place that you could go to when you know it's safe, confidential. It won't be out in these streets, but seek some help, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yo,
Appreciate you.
good shit. Yo, I'm just gonna say, yo, be in constant pursuit of your imperfection, right? Recognize, what it is. And the only way we can really do that is to really stop and just be real with ourselves. Recognize that you are imperfect, but also recognize that you have to work on those imperfections and recognize that you will never be perfect at them.
Word.
Right? You will, no matter how hard you work as a human being, there will always be a level of imperfection as a brother, as a son, as a husband, as a sister, as a wife. Like you will never be perfect. But what we do get the opportunity to do is to work on them and to communicate in that and to be open and to be honest and to be intimate and to be vulnerable and to seek um love through other people who can support us, right? We don't have to seek out someone else's approval, because that's what we get fucked up at.
Right.
Don't
Right.
You don't need to look for anyone else's approval. You need to look for someone else's intimacy, someone else's understanding of who you are. So, again, going back to what the relentless pursuit of imperfection.
Yo, fellas, y'all heard it, man. I ain't really got too much for y'all other than the definition of an imperfect gentleman. One more time. An imperfect gentleman is just a gentleman that understands his imperfections is not an excuse to stay the same, but it's an opportunity to be a better version of who he is for not just himself, but for his family, his friends, and his community around him. So the truth of the matter is, fellas, no one's asked you to be perfect, because the truth of it, we can't ask you that. No one can ask you that. There's not one person that ever walked this earth that can ask you to be something, because they never have been it. No one expecting you to be perfect. But what we are expecting you to do is stand firm, stand up as a man, be who you are. And if you don't know who you are, find out. Take the journey. Take the self-challenge journey. Figure this thing out, man. And you got time. Wherever you are right now, it's a great place to start. Right now is a dope place in this very moment. Wherever you are, wherever you're hearing this at, whenever you're hearing this, now is an opportune moment to start now and make a better change in your life for the better. So with that being said, Kings, wherever you are, don't forget, like, comment, and share this beautiful podcast with any and everybody that you think that can benefit from it. And to my fathers out there, remember, to the world, you ain't nothing but a dad. That's all you are. But to your family, you are the world. Don't you ever forget that. And don't you ever let nobody make you feel any less. But until the next time we see you, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Just get those folk from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And this has been the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace, y'all.
Peace.